So our agenda today, again, it is not technical, it's about secure by design. So what is secure by design, this importance of SBD, broader application of SBD principles in sustainable buildings, in IoT, smart cities, and industrial designs, and of course, future trends and the technologies. Not a lot of technologies that I will discuss. Okay, so I'll just jump in quickly because I know this is only up to 11 o'clock. I'll manage the time, and I'll still allow some time for interaction. And you have the Q&A, the Kahoot. I would love to be on the Q&A with Raymond as well. Sorry about my voice. One more. So what is secure by design? Secure by design is an approach in software and systems engineering where security is a central focus from the beginning of the design and development rather than after the implementation or on the rollout. Some of you may be familiar with the VAPT or vulnerability assessment and pen testing. Raymond has mentioned the pen testing earlier in his presentation. This means for secure by design, the pen testing is actually even before you launch it or even before the development stage, that the security is already embedded in the design. So as you develop any systems or an application, there is already a good level, a high level of security in it. You do the VAPT on new releases. That was a previous practice, still happening, but we are now advocating the secure by design in a lot of technology development, software, and even infrastructure. So why do we have to add the layer of testing after the software or product has been made? So why not build it safe from the design and development stages, no? SBD is about embedding security integrated in the design, the architecture, and the components, and not added later on. So for example, when you build a home, you consider the security features from the start to add the necessary security devices or mechanisms, such as 2 layers maybe of door security, no? Now we have biometric or card-enabled doors. There are CCTVs as well. So you put this earlier during the design or as you are building the design, etc., and not after your house has been robbed. Or other way is you don't build a building, and when it is damaged by an earthquake, you'll say, okay, now let's make it earthquake proof. No, it's not that way. So this is what we are advocating in the secure by design. In the context of engineering principles, secure by design is crucial for developing safe and reliable and resilient system infrastructure as well. So why does SBD matters? Because there's increasing complexity and connectivity of systems. There's rising sophistication of cyber threats and regulatory compliance pressures. I work as a policy developer, so I know how we are pressuring the vendors and even the companies to make sure I'm not only talking about secure by design, but secure in cybersecurity in every aspect of operations. No. By the way, the image here is done by an AI. And as you can see, I'm just giving an example of an AI wherein you should still make the decision in the end. I asked Dolly to show to me an image about an unsecured environment and a secured environment. So in the left side, you will see that there's the ladder where you can climb up openly. The data and the boxes are out there, etc. It's like it's easy to access, no? But on the other side, and this is what I disagree, and I want to share with you why I still use this image, is to say that if you can see, it says security, but I see missiles there or weapons of destruction. So in the end, if you're using AI or such tools, make sure that you still make your decision. I just made this decision to say that the AI tools are there, but we still have to make the decision in the end how to use it, okay? Nothing to do with SBD. Okay, so further to the importance of a secure by design, let me just, there's a lot, but let me just tackle on 5 things here. Early mitigation by incorporating security considerations into the design phase. So SBD enables early identification and mitigation of security risks. So it addresses vulnerabilities at the design stage. For developers, there's what we call OWASP top 10, no? At least the top 10 you address. But if there are any other vulnerabilities that have already been published, that developers or security engineers will have to be aware of when they are designing a system, those also need to be put into consideration. Less disruptive than trying to fix later in the development life cycle or after deployment. This also means that your design is resilient. You know, we're always talking about cybersecurity, but in fact, we cannot secure you anymore. But on the other hand, what we're trying to teach everyone is to be resilient. Because it's not a matter of whether you will be hacked; it's a matter of when you will be attacked, no, or hacked. Also early mitigation, and you can manage the recovery in a matter of time, easier or quicker and safer than if you are not embedding the design from the start. We also look at compliance to regulatory requirements. Again, many industries are subject to regulatory requirements and compliance standards related to cybersecurity. One of that is a very common ISO 27001 Information Security Management System. There are others, for example, for the cloud, they have the CSA or Cloud Security Alliance. It's a certification for them that they are doing their cloud services in a secured environment, implementing all the necessary cloud security protocols. Of course, extension to the ISO 27001 is the ISO 27035, no? So compliance ensures user confidence on the product, the hardware, and the software. And let me just recall that if you remember during the 9/11 or September 11 attack on the World Trade Center, when it collapsed, there are those who even assessed the building structure. No, some claim that even with the way the airplanes hit the building, it should have not collapsed that way. Parang cake, no? That when you click it, push it this way, magko-collapse siya. So there were some questions whether were some of the building codes not properly implemented, or were there codes that did not pass the test but still pinalampas, no? That's about regulatory compliance. So why talk about compliance after an incident? Also, by the way, regulatory compliance in Secure by Design for IoT devices involves adherence to data protection laws, by the way, security standards, encryption, authentication protocols, firmware updates, interoperability standards. These are part of the regulatory compliance. Confidentiality and integrity, prioritizing the protection of data from unauthorized access or modification from the onset. Again, even it is very early, no, I'm all ears and eyes to Raymond's presentation. So he was talking about authentication and authorization. So needless to say, this also need to be embedded from the design phase. Again, don't wait until your accounts are compromised and then just think about how to secure them afterwards. Cost saving, of course, when you design any of your systems or applications, software, etc., from the start, it will avoid a lot of costly repercussions such as security breaches, fines, legal fees, damage to reputation, especially the damage to reputation. A lot of big organizations, how many years did they build their name, and then it's just a click of or a snap, a single attack cost them a lot of reputational damage. they've paid a lot of fines as well. Especially in EU, there's the GDPR, wherein if there is a data leak or misuse or abuse of information of individuals, there's a very hefty fine. And of course, trust and reputation. This fosters trust among the stakeholders, the users, and the regulators. So a broader application of secure by design, let me just touch on a few. And again, very mindful of the time. I have actually reduced some of the slides, but I'll make sure that whatever is left still matters for this topic of discussion. So IoT, what kind of IoT do you have? Okay, you have your you have your smartwatch connected to your smartphone. You have smart lights at home, etc. No? Firstly, SBD, in IoT, SBD ensures that IoT devices are designed with security in mind. So considering the factors like encryption, secure communication protocols, device authentication. There are implementing also encryption and of your data in transit. You know, your IoT is communicating with other devices. So encryption in transferring this data from your phone to your from your smartwatch to your phone, this has to be encrypted. Also, by prioritizing security from the start, software engineers can minimize vulnerability. They can reduce the likelihood of security incidents and build software that meets the highest standard of reliability and integrity. So by utilizing protocols like TLS and the DTLS, data transport layer security, you can ensure that data exchanges are encrypted and authenticated, so mitigating the risk of eavesdropping or tampering during the transit. What else? Additionally, device authentication and mechanisms are crucial for verifying the identity and integrity of IoT within the network. Let me just play this one.
There is a small concern, but I'm not so much worried about it.
If you'd have asked me that question a few years ago, I'd have trusted the tech companies.
If I don't have all my settings exactly correct, then my data is collected and it's sold or stolen.
I have seen a lot of horror stories.
今まで気にしなかったけど、今聞かれたら気になりだしました。
I think that's a very deep and complex issue because that's also morality, isn't it? Like, how much do I value myself?
でもお金払ってでももし危ないんだったら守りたいです。
In today's world, how do you make something totally secure?
自分で公開するしないっていうのが選べるんであれば、その選択ができるっていう自由があれば安心するんじゃないのかなとは思います。
Okay, so I stopped the video because I just picked it from the internet. You know, if there's any product or company that flashed at the end, I'm not promoting, but it's a good information that was shared in there. So so that is how we should care about putting or embedding security in the devices that we are developing. See what the end users are very concerned about. It's about their information, how it is being treated, how it is being handled. I have my smartwatch. I have it's connected to my phone, and both are also connected to my smart weighing scale. So anytime I step on a weighing scale, it will record the weight my weight when I stepped on it. At one time, I played around with it. When I stepped on the weighing scale, I carried a 5-kilo bag of rice. Okay, so it looks like I gained 5 kilos. So yesterday, let's say I was 53 kilos, and now I am 58 kilos. And for some reasons, guess what happened? I started getting diet plans. I started getting proposed what you call this slimming exercises, apps, etc., paid, etc. So obviously, this is see 5 kilos in one day. Huh? Okay, so this is how I know that our data is not really being, secured. It's another way of identifying how you are using, how your data is being used. See how the other users in the video are concerned about it. Let me just talk about another example of an IoT. So IoT the S at the end of IoT, Internet of Things, stands for security. So there was this, I received a message in forwarded message in one of the group chats before, and it talks about million of smart toothbrushes that were used for a DDoS attack. I was curious what an IoT toothbrush does and found out that IoT toothbrushes works by integrating the sensors and connectivity features to collect data about brushing habits and transmit it to a companion mobile app or a cloud platform. So the toothbrush contains the sensor to detect the motion, the pressure, duration of brushing. So these sensors gather the data as the user brushes their teeth. So what was in that particular news that was spreading is that 1 million of these toothbrushes were compromised or hacked to be used for a DDoS attack. So what I did, I tried to Google whether it is true. True enough, it's a hoax. But what happens is that the particular company that was used in the false or the fake news is an actual company, and it cost millions of euros in damages for that company. So this may not be an actual hack or attack on their IoT toothbrush, but it's a damage on the reputation. So you just see if they have they really say that, no, we have these toothbrushes designed safe or secured by design, then somehow they can bring up their reputation again. So that's IoT. Now let's talk about smart buildings. What's changing in the landscape of smart buildings? So perhaps you can think about what you have in your buildings right now. We have security CCTV cameras or monitoring. We have the lighting, motion sensor. The lights will open when there is someone passing by. This is also in response to SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. HVAC, heating, ventilation, AC, fire safety, these alarms, 24/7 monitoring. The CCTVs, some of the CCTVs are also motion sensor. They are not recording continuously because it will take a lot of spaces on the server, but will only record when there's a movement. And also energy management. For fire safety, for example, in our building here, when we hear the fire alarm, and we have a WhatsApp for the residents of the building, when we hear the fire alarm and it's just a small one, we know that it's just a small fault. But if it is continuous, you will hear a lot of inquiries on the WhatsApp group. Now, who's cooking what, or who's burning something? Why? Why do they ask that? Because the building monitoring, fire and safety monitoring system will show which apartment that trigger is coming from. So we are always very careful, especially I love scents, burning candles, etc., scented candles. So I make sure that I will not be one of those who will be bashed by my neighbors when the alarm triggers. So because it already says if they even know in which panel in my apartment is that triggered that alarm. So let's say at one time they said, Miss Irene, it's coming from your kitchen. Or Miss Irene, it could be coming from your living room, So this is how smart buildings function right now. And it would be good, of course, if these are already secured by design. And when I say I'm talking about the fire safety let's say, devices, what if it malfunctions, or what if it is hacked, for example? Instead of having an actual fire, it will just trigger again and again until people will ignore when it is actually, in fact, an actual fire, which also happened to me in another building where I lived. Okay. So I have one case here: secure by design, implementation of a smart city traffic management system. So a city deploys a smart traffic management system to optimize the traffic flow. So it reduces congestion and improve overall transportation efficiency. The system also integrates various IoT sensors like traffic lights, surveillance camera. The central control systems collect and analyze this traffic data in real time. So secure by design approach could be as follows. This could be a robust authentication and access control. The traffic management system implements a strong authentication mechanism to ensure that only authorized personnel can access and control the critical infrastructure component. Otherwise, if it is compromised, you've seen this in movies, like it's red and then it's green, and immediately it's red. So it's causing a lot of traffic and chaos in the on the streets. So multi-factor authentication and role-based access control are used to limit the access to sensitive function and data. One of the key topics that Raymond discusses, the zero trust. So never trust, always verify, and I will add a third one: assume that there's a breach. Okay. Second is what else can be added in this traffic management system, and it's secure by design. Data encryption, so and integrity. So all communication channels within the traffic management system are encrypted. These are the one in transit. So this is to protect the sensitive data from interception and tampering. Another thing could be, what else could be a secure by design? Intrusion detection monitoring. So the system incorporates intrusion detection system and continuously monitor there are continuous monitoring tools to detect and respond to potential security threats in real time. Secure by design, during the development, they follow the OWASP Top 10, and regular security assessments are employed throughout the development cycle. So every time there's a new module that is completed, immediately a cycle of assessment is already employed in there. There are code reviews, vulnerability scans, and pen testing conducted during the cycle, not after, not when the full product is launched. So there's also, of course, in the end, resiliency and redundancy. So the system is designed, the smart city traffic management system is designed with resilience and redundancy features in place to ensure the continuity of operations, even in the event of a cyber attack or failure. Now let's go to SBD and automotive engineering. I don't know if you've known this guy. This is David Colombo. He hacked the Tesla when it was earlier launched. So what is being emphasized here is that designing vehicles and connected systems with security to protect against cyber attacks and ensure passenger safety is very important before it is released. Also, implementing a secure communication protocol for V2V or vehicle to vehicle, and V2I or the vehicle to infrastructure, and securing the vehicle networks as well, and implementing OTA or over-the-air update mechanism. So the OTA update in smart vehicles refer to capability of updating the software and firmware of vehicles remotely without the need to physical access or intervention. So this means the updates, the patches, and improvements can be delivered wirelessly to the vehicle. The third SBD in automotive is to prevent unauthorized access to critical vehicle systems. to mitigate the risk of remote exploitation. And I'd like to share a video. This is a 5-minute video. However, I just wanted to show you a small part of it. I also don't know whether you've heard about the Jeep hack, or I guess Raymond is familiar with it.
It's not fun to have your 2-ton SUV's brakes hacked just as you're parking in front of a ditch.
Okay, hold on tight. Hold on. Oh,
That's what I've learned from Charlie Miller and Chris Valasek, a pair of hackers who have spent the last year developing a piece of software that can wirelessly sabotage this 2014 Jeep Cherokee. It hasn't been altered in any way. There are no devices attached to it. But like many thousands of Jeeps around the world, it can be remotely hacked over the internet through a cellular connection to its entertainment system that would allow someone to take over its steering, its transmission, and even its brakes. To demonstrate that, I'm going to act as today's crash test dummy and drive it on the highway here in St. Louis, while Charlie and Chris hijack its digital systems from Charlie's house miles away. They wouldn't tell me what they had planned, but they assured me that it wouldn't be anything life-threatening.
Remember, Andy, no matter what happens, don't panic.
It's not the first time I've driven a car while it's being attacked by these two hackers. But in 2013, they were in the back seat, and their laptops were wired into the vehicle through a port in its dashboard. Now they're sending the same sort of attacks remotely, and I have no idea what they might do.
He's going as fast as I've seen him, so.
So first we're going to turn the fan on him.
Yeah, let's turn the fan on, see if he even notices.
All right, something just turned on, all the fans and AC and stuff. I didn't do that. The trick started small. Oh my God. There's a picture of Charlie and Chris in tracksuits that just appeared on the dashboard. But as I drove down the interstate, things started getting unpleasant and very loud. Perfect. I can't turn it down.
This was such a fun video. Steve, okay,
Cool. And now the air conditioning is blasting, the music is blasting, and I can't see anything because of the windshield wiper fluid.
Okay, do it. Do it. Kill the engine.
So we're killing the engine right now.
It says park sense. Actually can't accelerate. I stomped on the gas, but the Jeep slowed to a crawl. It says 43 miles an hour, but I'm not going that fast. I turned on my hazard lights, but I was still stuck in the right lane with no shoulder to escape onto. Guys, I'm stuck on the highway.
What are you saying?
I think he's panicking.
Okay, so this is just another demonstration of a transportation or a vehicle that was launched without considering the security on the onset. Okay, so we have the home, we have your IoT devices, we have your home, we have the car or the vehicles, and now we have aerospace. Very scary now if we're going to have some kind of attack or hack in the systems while you are on the flight. But so there's one security researcher who hacked and caused an airplane to climb. So there was this guy. His name is Chris Roberts. You may Google his name. He has hacked or compromised some aircraft systems before. And he looked at the potential vulnerabilities on systems. One notable example of that is the entertainment system in an aircraft. So he said he allegedly tampered with the aircraft systems, entertainment system, wherein all of a sudden, all of the passengers were watching the same movie. Okay, it is important to note that aviation authorities, however, are an aircraft manufacturer, take careful and very seriously the cybersecurity and have implemented various measures to protect aircraft system. However, it is not only about the aircraft system itself, we're also talking about the air traffic control system on the ground. So what is the importance of SBD in aerospace? It's about putting robust architecture design, secure communication protocols. Also, there's access control authentication and continuous monitoring of intrusion detection. And by the way, this is that guy, Chris Roberts. Met him in the black hat last year. Cool guy, cool old guy. Okay. Now there's also we thought that a lot of companies are already putting or embedding secure practices at the design stage of their systems, infrastructure, etc. But there was one research that was done by Forescout of Adhere Labs, and they have discovered 61 vulnerabilities affecting devices from 13 OT vendors, OTR, operational technology, caused by insecure by design. And this, when you say OT, these are the products to be being used in oil and gas, chemical, nuclear, power generation and distribution, manufacturing, water treatment, mining, building automation. In short, in IT, we're concerned about CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. But in OT, the priority is the availability, because once these are shut down, just mentioning power generation, shut down the power generation, it could cause a massive blackout, okay? Or an attack in an oil and gas, like what happened in Iraq power plant, and also the Saudi Aramco. This Shamoon malware, it rendered about 30,000 plus inoperable computers. It's causing significant disruption to the company's operation. And while when was this? About 2010, the electrical grid, the Stuxnet, this is the one that was aimed to disrupt and sabotage Iran's nuclear program. So see how important the secure by design, especially in OT devices, is very important. This particular research, they called it OT, Icefall, a decade of insecure by design practices in OT. You can try and have a look at this, and you will see how what are those vulnerabilities. Can you imagine, even if those the vendors are saying they have embedded secure by design, still this research showed otherwise. There is the CISA, Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency. They published this document, the Secure by Design, Shifting the Balance of Cybersecurity Risk. And this was in collaboration with 17 US and international partners. And they published it to create an awareness to embed security at the onset, not after the product, and not after the product has been launched. And even if we have the VAPT, at least we will still do the VAPT, but at least we hope to see a minimal result of the vulnerabilities when we do the VAPT. Future trends and technologies. So emerging technologies, they impact us a lot. Like, for example, the AI on secure by design. I'm always still, of course, I'm a user of AI now. We cannot get away with it. We're living with it. However, I'm still concerned about how do they secure it. There's one very common or very known attack on AI now. It's the poisoning. So, the GPT, it is based on data that is being fed, and the AI is learning from this data. But the hackers or attackers can actually poison the data within, and it means the GPT can give you other results otherwise. Not in the way that it could be biased, it could be harmful, etc. So the AI become increasingly integrated into systems and products, and they present both opportunities and challenges for secure by design. AI can enhance the security by automating threat detection and analyzing vast amounts of data. So if ever these AIs are attacked and not secured on the design stage, or the AI developers did not consider this at the very onset, then there are these opportunities for the attackers to do such harm. It's not only for the software, of course, it's also for the users. Also, anticipating future challenges in the technology as it evolves. There's a lot of things happening right now. Watch for quantum computing. It's gonna happen also. It's already starting. IBM has already developed its a quantum computer, and there are other issues that we have to look into that as well. So the vision for the future for you all engineers, you can lead the way in creating secure technology and integrated solutions. So in conclusion, it's all about collaboration between various stakeholders. We're talking about software developers, the civil engineers, the architects, end users, urban planners, and the regulators as well.